Hello everybody, it's me, Andy. The second video in this series will be concerned with the biophysics which is taking place inside a neuron. If you want to understand the mathematical abstraction of a process, it'll be probably a good idea to first understand what is happening in reality. With this video, I want to help you to determine your own degree of understanding of some of the basics in neuroscience. Based on this personal evaluation of your knowledge, you'll be able to decide how much more effort you should invest into understanding the biophysics of a neuron. If needed, I'll provide you with some external resources as well. So let's start. This is where we left in the last video. As soon as you are able to describe a neuron, depicted obviously by the pointy red triangle on the left-hand side, you've done a huge step towards predicting its spiking behavior. And that's what you're aiming for. So, how do neurons generate action potentials? Here's your chance to test yourself. Think about how an action potential is generated and write down everything that comes to your mind. After that, structure your thoughts by giving them a temporal order. What happens when? In order to support your thought process, here's a schematic of a spike. By the way, this exercise will be most effective for you if you do not look up anything before approaching it. Notice that you cannot fail this exercise. Okay, pause the video now. Restart it as soon as you're finished or need help. Nice, you made it. And how'd it go? Did you feel comfortable writing down your explanation of neuronal action potential generation? If so, great. You advance to the next level and may skip the resources I'm about to present. In case that you felt a bit weak at the knees, don't worry. Here are some resources which I think are excellent. First, some videos. Each of them takes a slightly different approach at explaining action potential generation. Therefore, watching all three of them might give you a broader understanding of the process. If you'd like to read explanations by actual scientists, here are two very valuable books to consider. If you can get your hands on Eugene Izhikiewicz's book, you'll have the best resource you could wish for. It provides tons of explanations, and most of its images you'll see several times throughout this course. Principles of Neuroscience? Well, put simply, it's like the Bible of neuroscience, at least in terms of the number of pages. It includes additional sections on artificial intelligence, computational neuroscience, and much more. And it's written in part by my personal hero, Eric Kandel. Okay, let's move on to the second exercise of this video. In your explanation of spike generation, you probably used concepts which are traditionally used in physics and electrical engineering. But what exactly is the idea behind each of them? Try to explain all of those concepts. Make sure that you have an idea about how each of those concepts might be incorporated by parts of a nerve cell. Which part of a neuron is the capacitor and why? What is affecting the resistance or the capacitance when you're talking about a neuron? Okay, enough talk. Again, here are some resources if you want to consolidate your understanding. This time, I recommend Khan Academy's whole playlist on electricity and magnetism. On the text side of life, there's an outstandingly nice article by Ernst Niebuhr on Scholarpedia. Additionally, there is, of course, a chapter in Eugene Izhikiewicz's book. Very detailed, very good. Although, at times I found it hard to understand. Nevertheless, a good resource to start with. Okay, that completes today's video on the biophysics in neuroscience. Please remember that you're always welcome to share your explanations and thoughts with me and everyone else. In the comments or drop me a line. You'll find my mail address in the description. Alright, Thanks for watching, leave a comment, and I'll see you soon. Mathematics only got a raw deal in this video. So let's have a look at something mathy. You're probably very familiar with a graph like this one. Explaining it would not be much of an issue for you. But what happens if I slightly change the dimensions? Have a look at the vertical axis. Still able to explain this graph? Okay, what about the horizontal axis? What the heck is the meaning of this graph? Look at each of those three charts. Notice that v of t does not have to represent the membrane potential of a neuron. Likewise, v of t is a different function in each chart. Okay, for all of these charts, what do you know about the function v of t? And what is each graph representing? If you'd like some comments, you're invited to send me your answers. So, happy thinking!